If I was to say to you Destination MK, you may be wondering what it's all about. Well, someone who knows it all and what it's all about is the lovely Jackie Inskip. Hello, Jackie.
Good morning, Richard.
Now, so Destination MK, what is it?
Well, it started off really as the Tourism Association for Milton Keynes, but it's become much more than that now. And we're actually now providing the tourism services for Milton Keynes to help promote it as a destination.
Now, most tourist offices, information centres, are run, organised, looked after by the various district and councils. So how come, I suppose it's typical with Milton Keynes, isn't it? Where's a privately owned business doing it?
Well, like many local authorities, Milton Keynes found itself in financial difficulties a few years ago and had to make cuts on discretionary services, and tourism is a discretionary service. So gradually the local authority had withdrawn funding from it, and people involved in both the leisure and the business tourism felt that we needed to promote Milton Keynes. It's a fantastic destination for both leisure and business. So the association got together and we managed to raise money from the members, and from that attracted some additional funding, and we decided we'd have to provide the services ourselves, so that's what we're doing.
It's quite scary. I mean, how long was Milton Keynes without any publicity and tourist office side at that angle?
From the tourism side, proper representation for, well, the Tourist Information Centre actually closed down 3 years ago, but we haven't had a tourism officer really effectively for about 5 years.
Now, I'm no expert, but that's quite scary because there's big money in this industry, isn't there? And so for 3 years, we've probably just not bothered to do anything.
Well, I don't think it's not that nobody's bothered to do it, but it's taking the responsibility for it, and that's a difficulty because tourism. Promotion of tourism is very revenue heavy, so you've got to be able to produce the revenue to be able to sustain it, and that's the biggest challenge that we face at the moment, encouraging people to use the services that we're providing so that we can generate our own revenues and eventually be self-sustaining.
So what sort of services are you running then as well on top of the tourism thing?
Well, they run into 3 areas really. One of the prime areas is the conference desk, which is a free venue finding service. So we're trying to attract big conferences to Milton Keynes, which once the football stadium is open will make us a big conference destination, which will be great because it will have a feed on through all of the industry, through all the venues that are providing meetings, seminars, those sort of facilities. Then we have a dedicated website, and it's an unusual one because we have amalgamated business tourism with leisure tourism. Most operators separate the two, but we want to cross-sell both the services. We've reintroduced a telephone inquiry line, and we are now running a free accommodation finding service.
So I guess you could summarise Destination MK is sort of, it's trying to sell Milton Keynes to the outside world.
It is. It's helping. We're working with Invest Milton Keynes on that, and anybody else who wants to contribute.
So you say, I mean, you're private. How are you getting the money? How do you need the money? How does all that work? You need some input to be able to do what you're doing.
Well, naturally, people who have a vested interest, like hotels or B&Bs or the leisure operators, they are natural members, if you like, and we're targeting them. But we actually believe that anybody who runs a business in Milton Keynes should have an interest in wanting to see the destination promoted. Because all of their businesses will benefit from that. And we saw a prime example of that last September with the Robbie Williams concerts. You know, the knock-on across the whole economy was huge. You
know, don't tell anyone, but I'm hoping Wembley fails. Because then we'll get even more of the concerts again this year, won't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
Next year. But don't tell anyone I said that.
All right.
But you've got to think of your own town, haven't you?
Yeah.
I suppose that summarises you all together.
It does, yeah.
I mean, so what have you achieved? I mean, what have you achieved so far on that? Are you getting there, do you think?
Well, we are. We actually have our first birthday next week, which we're celebrating.
We could have had candles.
We could.
Why don't you tell us?
But in just a year, we've managed to set up the conference desk, we've got the telephone line operating, we've got the website phase 1 operating.
And so it's all in place? Well,
yeah,
Jackie,
we're running
we'll talk more.
Well.
Thanks so much for coming in. Destination MK.